I'm gonna start with the fried calamari. Then I'll have the baked salmon. And instead of the mashed potatoes, I'd like them roasted. Then I'll have a Caesar dressing on my salad. And for dessert, I'll have a single espresso and a nice piece of tiramisu to celebrate my meal and my present company.
Does this mean I get to have some of your tiramisu?
Well, it's too early to say. We'll have to see how it goes.
Oh, I will have the stuffed portobello mushroom and
If you need a little more time, I can come back.
oh, no, it's okay. I will have the goulash and rice. Oh, and for dessert, I'll just have some of his.
All right, I'll be back.
Thank you.
I've never seen anyone order with so much confidence.
Well, I do have my ways.
Well, I like a man who really knows what he wants.
Well, I like a woman who uses lines like, I like a man who really knows what he wants.
Okay, now you're being mean.
Check, please.
Oh, stop.
I don't think you'll be getting any tiramisu after all.
You're so funny.
Stuffed portobello mushroom and calamari.
Looks good. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Can I try one of your calamari?
Whoa, hey. You can't just make a move on my plate like that without proper clearance.
Oh, don't be weird. I just wanted the calamari.
Look at you. You're like Captain Ahab over there, ready to harpoon my seafood.
Who is Captain Ahab?
My cousin?
You know what I like to think about?
Tell me.
I like to think about the incredible process that it took to get this little creature onto your plate. No, just think that a short while ago, this little guy was swimming in the ocean with all of his little relatives, surviving the way nature intended, in a world as far removed from ours as anyone could possibly imagine. And now, somehow, he's on the end of my fork, deep fried, and dipped into a tomato mayonnaise sauce. How crazy is that?
So what else do you like to think about when you're eating?
How about the incredible lengths that we go to in order to entertain our sense of taste?
You mean instead of like eating things straight off of a tree or a bush?
Right, we're mixing and sauteing, baking and roasting, making sauces, using spices and ingredients from all over the world.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean, even simple things like a grilled cheese sandwich. Just think if you were to trace the origin of every ingredient that went into making it.
Forget the grilled cheese. How about your salad dressing there?
Exactly. Are you gonna eat all your olives?
You see what you just did there? That was a move. It was subtle, but nevertheless, it was a move.
What are you talking about?
Or you throw out this colorful perspective on the process and origins of food just to keep me entertained, but your ulterior motive is obvious. You're just after my olives.
If I wanted your olives, I could have them.
Truth be told, I don't even care much for olives, but solely as a matter of principle, I'm going to deny you access to them.
You may covet your olives all you want, but believe me, if I wanted, I could unleash a force that would have you pleading me to take every last one of those olives from your plate.
Well, you could start by crying until all your makeup washed off and discolored your salad. Then you could drop to the floor in a screaming tantrum, pounding the tiles at my feet with your fists until the straitjacket arrived, and I still would not give you one olive from my plate.
You may have your olives.
Goulash with rice for you, ma'am. And for you, baked salmon with roasted potatoes. If there's anything else I can get you, please let me know. And enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
It looks wonderful.
Relax, I'll let you have some. Just don't ask me to switch plates.
Can I have a potato?
Sure, if you would be so kind as to at least sample a bit of food from your own plate first.
You certainly have a good amount of rules to live by, don't you?
They're not so much rules as they are practical guidelines.
Yeah, but don't you ever just want to break free from it all?
Oh, I do. Quite often, in fact, but not enough to let it degenerate into a sloppy lifestyle.
Are you going to let me have a potato, or am I going to have to fill out some special request form that absolves you of any responsibility for my sloppy behavior?
Go ahead, take a potato. Just realize that by doing so, you're acting on a delinquent impulse, kind of behavior that will eventually bring about your own demise.
All right, keep your potatoes. I didn't realize it was such a dramatic event.
Now go ahead, take a potato.
No, I don't want one.
It's all right, take one.
No, I don't want your potatoes.
Look, just take a potato.
No,
all
I
right?
don't. Just get it away from
What
me.
is your problem? Why are you getting so upset?
You didn't want me to have the potato.
I told you could have
No,
it.
you said I could have it, but you didn't want me to have it.
What difference does it make?
It makes a big difference. I'm not going to take a potato if you don't want me to have it.
You knew why I didn't want you to have one, but for the sake of civility, I was going to let you have one anyway.
How was I supposed to enjoy a potato with that kind of guilt attached to it?
Whether you enjoy the potato or not, that's up to you. All I'm saying is don't expect me to compromise my principles just to satisfy your immediate desires.
I'm sorry. I guess that was a bit silly.
Well, it was the first time I've ever seen a roasted potato go airborne in a restaurant.
Can we just pretend like that never happened?
What do you say?
Sure.
To a new beginning and a new understanding.
And no more projectile potatoes.
Agreed. So, can I offer you a roasted potato?
I don't see why not.
And here, try a piece of this salmon.
Well, you're certainly getting spontaneous.
This is not spontaneity. It's merely an act of generosity. But it's generosity on my terms, which makes it more personal and more meaningful. Does that make sense?
Okay, I'm sorry. Are you asking me if I can make sense of your keen insight, or were you asking if your sermonizing words were strung together in a coherent and understandable manner?
Why are you getting offended? I'm just expressing my motivation.
Yeah, well, you were just expressing it in a very patronizing way. I mean, look, if you're going to be generous, that's fine. Just do so without the lecture attached.
So, how are you going to understand me if I don't explain my intentions?
I can sense things without instructions. You don't need to walk me through your clever minutia like some boring philosophy professor. And you know what? I don't need your generosity, so why don't you just take back your fish and your potato, okay? I will eat from my own plate of crappy goulash while you enjoy yours.
So now you don't like your food.
No, I don't like it. I didn't even know what the hell goulash was until now. The only reason I ordered it was because you rushed me into it.
Oh, so now it's my fault that you ordered something you don't like.
Yes, it is. Look, if you hadn't ordered everything so quickly, I could have actually gotten something I could enjoy. Or at least knew what the hell it was.
You know, maybe if you asked a few questions, got a little extra information, you'd be more clear on what the hell it was you were ordering.
I'm leaving. Is that clear enough for you, or do you need a little extra information?
She has no discipline or sense of control. She's like a spoiled child.
It started off so great, you know, I really liked him, and it got weird.
I'm sure it was cute and funny at first, but now it just annoys the hell out of me.
He's so judgmental and patronizing now.
It's like watching a magician over and over again after you've figured out how he made the chicken disappear. Does she expect me to applaud every time she does her silly routine?
No, it's insane. He's analyzing every behavior and motivation ad nauseum. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Hold on a second.
What can I get for you?
Can I also get a double scotch on the rocks, please?
Do you realize how many online profiles I had to go through before we matched?
I mean, that behavior was fine over bread and appetizers, but we are well into our entrees here.
I just feel like I put in so much time and energy. It wouldn't feel right to end it now.
No, she's not a magician.
I should call a cab, right?
And your tiramisu, shot of espresso. Will there be anything else?
Possibly. Could you just leave the check open for now?
Certainly.
I'm back. Well, I'm back. There's no sign of her, but the dessert just showed up. Of course not. How could I enjoy it? It'd be pointless. No. There's nothing tragic about it. What we had was an honest dinner experience, and not all dinners work out. I'll tell you what, though. I certainly learned a few things. For instance, I sure as hell wouldn't let her...
Try a piece of your tiramisu.
I gotta go. Absolutely. In fact, the first taste is yours. It's good to have you back. I missed you.
I missed you too.
There you are, sir.
Look at that. You did remember. Thank you.
No problem at all. Enjoy.
So, what have you been doing since you frolicked off?
I've been thinking about us, how crazy things got, and how I tried to blame you for everything.
We did sort of rush into things there, in the beginning.
I think I got caught up in the excitement of it all.
It was definitely a learning experience.
It certainly put things in perspective.
Yeah.
It gave me a better understanding of who we are in the context of this relationship.
I agree. Exactly.
Can I try a sip of your espresso?
Let me go ahead and order you one.
Oh, no, you don't have to. I just want a little taste of yours.
Right, but it'd be better if I ordered you a separate one.
Why? I only want a little sip.
But this is just a single shot, which is just a sip or two in the first place, so let me just order another one.
I can't believe you won't let me have a sip of your espresso. That's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous because if you think about it, by asking for just a little sip, relatively speaking, you're asking for over half of my drink. Doesn't that make any sense to you at all?
I wish you would stop trying to make sense out of everything.
Where the hell is the waiter?
Don't even worry about it. I don't want
Yes, what can
any.
we get for you?
Can we get another espresso here, please?
Absolutely.
No, we don't need another espresso. Coffee is not going to solve the situation.
Let's not make this into a situation. Let's just get you another espresso so we can finish our dessert in peace.
It's not about the espresso. It's you. It's us. Nothing has really changed since the goulash.
Why don't you let me get us another coffee and then we can decide at that point if it actually works out better that way instead of jumping to conclusions here and faulting each other for reasons that are probably not even valid.
If you think by ordering another espresso you're going to fix the situation, then you're completely missing the point.
Maybe I'll come back.
No, hold on. Let me ask you something. Am I being selfish if I offer to buy her a separate espresso instead of having her sip from my own very limited supply, or am I actually being generous in this case?
Well,
See, he could order 1,000,000 espressos and it would have nothing to do with generosity. He would only be doing it to keep from sharing his own.
If this was a regular cup of coffee, I would have no problem sharing a sip or two with her, but we're dealing with a single shot
He
here.
doesn't understand it's not about weights and measures. It's about offering and creating shared experiences. The kind that would bring us closer together.
Unnecessarily depriving the one you're with of a full and complete experience is a form of control, and it's especially pathetic when it's wielded as a bonding mechanism to achieve some greater spiritual connectivity.
Small personal sacrifices help communicate a reassuring sense of commitment, at least in a healthy relationship.
I am perfectly willing to sacrifice $1.75 so that I may share in a meaningful, uncompromised experience in this relationship.
Listen, it isn't any of my business, but can I make a recommendation?
Please
Absolutely.
do.
At this point, as your waiter, I'm going to recommend separate checks.
Well, I suppose, but...
No,
we did-
Sam, he's right. We don't need another coffee. We need to face reality.
Well, I suppose you're right. No point in denying it. Not at this stage.
I think we've been through enough to realize that what we had was just not meant to endure.
Right? Better end it now before we become as cold and bitter as my espresso must be by now.
You're funny.
I'll return with your checks.